Good morning, Year Nines. Welcome to History. Happy New Year to you all. Hope you've all had a really lovely holiday and are ready to learn from home. So today's lesson, the lesson question at the top is, why was World War II, why was it really significant? So for the do now activity, I want all of you to move on straight to number 3. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write your homework in your planner, reminding yourself to complete it. And it's due next Monday. So the homework is at the bottom in the yellow box. The homework is: explain 2 reasons why World War II is remembered. It's a 4-mark question which requires you to give a 2-point and explain sentence response. So make sure you write your homework in your planner. Explain 2 reasons why World War II is remembered. Okay, moving on straight to the do now activity, to the next bit. After you've done that, the extension question. Extension question is: what does source 1 show about World War II? Give examples to support. So this is source 1 in front of you. So source 1, the numbers killed in the Second World War, selected countries excluding concentration camps. So these numbers do not include the millions of people that were killed, millions of Jews in particular that were killed in the concentration camps by the Germans. Okay, so as you can see, Australia, 29,295 soldiers were killed during World War II, and innocent civilians 243. Britain 271,311 soldiers were killed. 95,297 civilians were also killed. Canada, France, Germany, India, Japan, Italy, USSR, and USA. As you can see, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of soldiers and also hundreds and hundreds of thousands of civilians, innocent civilians, were killed in during Second World War. So this source is clearly showing you the high levels of death, murder and killings that took place. World War II was a very, very bloody war. It was the bloodiest war in human history. And this source is showing you the numbers that were killed during the war. Okay, the war took place from 1930 to 1945, so 6 years of destructive killing. Loads and loads of countries were involved in the war. And we are going to look at that in more detail in today's lesson. So make sure you've completed that extension question using the source, okay? That's the question. What does source 1 show you about World War II? Give examples to support. Use those examples right there. All right, moving on. So today's lesson, the inquiry question for this term is: how did the events of World War II change the world? So by the end of this term, you should be able to confidently be able to answer that question in red. How did the events of World War II change the world? Okay, and this is what we're going to be really focusing on in the next couple of weeks, so that you know how to answer that big question at the end of the term. Today's lesson, we're going to gain an in-depth understanding of why World War II was so significant in human history. And we're going to also understand the impact of World War II on the world and countries and people that were involved in it, and also people that weren't involved in it as well, okay? That is what we're going to be looking at in today's lesson, how significant World War II is and why it was significant. Lovely, so moving on. So before we look at why it was significant, we need to be able to understand and know what the word significant or significance means. So significant is an adjective. So a significant event that we are experiencing at the moment, unfortunately, is the coronavirus pandemic. So that's a sentence using the word significant. So what does significant mean? Significant means great or important, worthy of attention and remembrance. World War II is hugely significant because it changed the lives for women and immigrants in Britain. Not only just in Britain, but also in America as well. So after you've done that, I want you to write your own sentence using the word significant. So on the Google Classroom, I have attached this video and also a document which requires you to answer all the questions from this video, from this lesson, which I want you to share with me, email me or submit it. Do either by Friday the 8th of January, please. Okay, I will show you that document at the end of our lesson today. Okay, so moving on, after you've done your 6-step vocabulary sentence, you are going to do your PAR reading and task. So you're going to read the information sheet on why was World War II really significant. So what I'm going to do is very quickly, I'm going to show you what the document looks like. So bear with me. Okay, so the document looks like this. Okay, it looks like this. And it's going to be attached to the Google Classroom for today's lesson as well, which you'll be able to access. All right, so moving on. Okay, so read that information sheet on why World War II was significant. Answer all the questions in full sentences using the sheet. And then if you finish that task and you want to move on to the extension and you're confident, do the extension task as well. So in your opinion, what impact has World War II had on Britain today? Use the information from that worksheet and also your own knowledge from that worksheet to help you as well. Okay, moving on. So the exam question for today's lesson, which I want you to do on that document, is describe 2 features of why World War II was significant. It's a 4-mark question. My advice to you would be, okay, you need to make sure you answer all those questions that from the worksheet. Okay, so you need to do that task. If you do that successfully and you do it really, really well, you will have the skill, you will have the knowledge to do this question. I have put on the video a model point example, point explanation sentence. So this is what a point explanation sentence would look like for this question. So you might say, so one feature of what life was like on the home front was that women worked in masculine male jobs during World War at the time. To explain, women worked in factories and munitions, building weapons, bombs and artillery to send back to the soldiers at war to keep the country going and improve Britain's chances of winning the war. So that is a point and explanation sentence showing you why World War II was really important, why it was really, really significant. And there are loads of different reasons why World War II was incredibly significant. For example, it changed the life of women, etc., etc. All right, use the worksheet to answer that question, please. Use the worksheet. Loads of different reasons why World War II was really important, why it was really significant. Okay, the impact that World War II had during that time when it happened and also in the world after it as well. Okay. So year 9, so this sheet, which is attached to the Google Classroom for today's lesson, is the sheet that you need to complete for today. It's due on the Friday, 8th of January. So if you scroll down, these are all the tasks, all the questions that you need to complete from the lesson, from the video. So please make sure you do that and send that across to me as soon as you finished. It's due for the 8th of Friday. If you have any questions or concerns about how to attempt these questions, please do let me know, okay? Make sure you read every single task, follow every single task, and complete that work. Use the information sheet to support you and use the lesson to support you in answering these questions, okay?